I had someone reach out to me this week and they were asking me why magnesium wasn't helping them with their insomnia. They had been struggling with sleep for a while. They were told to do all of these different things in order to finally achieve sleep. Magnesium was one of them, and it wasn't working. In fact, it was maybe even making the situation worse. And I wanted to address this publicly because I know that for so many of us who struggle with sleep, it can feel very frustrating. We can feel lost, confused, alone, and like we're isolated in a situation, which is why I wanted to address why this is happening. So in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down why magnesium isn't the solution for your insomnia, why thinking it is may actually be making the situation worse, and also what you can do about it if you're currently in a situation where you're looking for all of these solutions and all of these external substances to potentially support your sleep, and what you can actually do instead. And if you are new here, welcome. My name is Fiona. I'm a recovered chronic insomniac turned holistic sleep coach. And I just want to start by saying that I know exactly what it feels like to be in a position where you are trying all of these things in order to make sleep happen, and it just doesn't seem to happen. If anything, it makes us more frustrated, alone, confused. It can definitely make us feel like we're very broken. So I just wanted to start by saying that if you are in this situation, you are maybe taking specific supplements, including magnesium, and it's not working and you're still not sleeping, you feel very agitated at night, very awake, you feel anxious around sleep, just know that it is not your fault. And the fact that you are trying all of these things is also not your fault. You're continuously told that sleep can be controlled and optimized, and this is where we get a lot of our things wrong, but we'll get into why. But I just wanted to say that you're not alone, you're not broken, and you're not in this situation because you are doing something incorrectly. Let's start by understanding why magnesium is not helping with your insomnia, or why you feel like it's not working. And in order for us to do this, I want to first break down what insomnia actually is. So Google will tell you that insomnia is the difficulty staying asleep or falling asleep. But I want to go a little bit deeper, because it's not just that you have difficulties falling asleep. It's the fact that we have a misidentified threat of wakefulness, meaning that you have had some kind of sleep disruption in your past. And in that sleep disruption, meaning you didn't sleep very well, your nervous system, which is the part of your body that is trying to keep you safe, has identified that the fact that you're not sleeping is a problem, right? So we have already created this identification that not sleeping is going to be harmful for us. And when our body or brain recognizes that there's a potential threat in our environment, what does it do? It deploys cortisol and adrenaline in order to keep us awake, which is the opposite state that we want to be in order for sleep to happen. So the fact that you're not sleeping isn't because you have a sleep problem. It is because you are stuck in a state of hyperarousal, meaning that your body is purposefully trying to keep you awake in order to fight off wakefulness, right? This is the racing heart. Maybe you feel warm at night. Maybe you feel agitated. Maybe you have the constant need to pee. Maybe you have racing thoughts or anxiety. There's so many different signs that are proof that your body is stuck in a state of hyperarousal. But little does that have to do with sleep, okay? You can actually sleep completely fine. Insomnia actually is your nervous system getting in the way of that. And before we continue, if all of this feels a little bit confusing to you, or you have absolutely no idea what insomnia actually is or how to even start breaking the cycle, then I do encourage you to check out my free 30-minute masterclass, which will break down what insomnia is and how you can also start breaking the cycle starting today. So now that we know why insomnia happens, or what insomnia actually is, which is a fear problem, absolutely not a sleep problem, the reason why we think that magnesium is going to help us is because the majority of the world misunderstands insomnia, okay? The definition, as we already covered, is the difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep. That basically means that you have a sleep problem, right? We are told, okay, you have difficulties with sleep. Let's try and give you solutions that optimize on that thing. And magnesium is one of those things, okay? Magnesium is a supplement. It helps for your muscles, your digestion, your nervous system, yes. It can have so many beautiful benefits in your body and in your health. However, it has absolutely nothing to do with insomnia. And that is because insomnia is not a sleep problem. And whenever you treat insomnia as a sleep problem, you're only treating kind of like the symptoms of insomnia, which is not sleeping, but not actually the root cause of why you're actually struggling. In a way, taking these supplements and believing that you need external sources in order for you to sleep contributes to the narrative that your sleep is broken, that your sleep is something fragile, and that there is, in fact, a problem. And the more you internalize that there is a problem in relation to your sleep and you keep chasing it and it's nowhere to be found, your nervous system is actually hanging on harder and harder to that reality that wakefulness is, in fact, a threat. So this is where taking something like magnesium can typically backfire when it comes to insomnia recovery. And I do want to preface by saying that it is not your fault. You are told to do these things in order to support your sleep. It is completely normal for you to feel broken and more frustrated about the fact that it is not working. So please just have a little bit of kindness and compassion to the version of you who was trying different things in order to ease this discomfort. I would just encourage you to know that the more you search for sleep from something external, the more you're actually contributing to this dialogue that your sleep is fragmented or broken, that your sleep is something you can't trust. When in reality, with insomnia recovery, or the recovery and this detachment from the outcome of sleep altogether comes from fully trusting that your body is able to sleep without us getting involved. You need to think of sleep as breathing. It is something that is a completely passive process. It happens in the absence of effort. And if you feel like you are deploying all of these small little things in order for you to sleep, I would also encourage you to know that you don't need to remove all of these efforts that you have had around your sleep all at once. One, just recognize them and ask yourself whether or not you are doing something with the intention of making sleep happen, because the intention is the most important part of this whole equation. When you do something with the intention of making sleep happen, this is where it typically backfires. Whereas if you're doing something because you genuinely want to, or because you feel like it is supporting your health in a specific way, then do it. But just start by asking yourself that question. If you're doing something with the intention of sleep being achieved, ask yourself whether or not that is actually possible. Two, just become aware of the different efforts and actions that you are doing in order for that to happen. And number three, maybe slowly start removing some of those efforts. It may feel scary at first because our nervous system has clung on to all of that sense of control around sleep, but just slowly kind of explore that free of judgment, free of expectations, and also know that you will one day arrive at a place where sleep is completely effortless. And if you have absolutely any questions, comments, concerns around your sleep, I would absolutely love to hear from you. You can go ahead and drop those in the comment section below, and I promise to get back to you as soon as I can.